A ruling against an alleged neo-Nazi group has been postponed while 4 of the suspects go through psychiatric assessment. The group is accused of dozens of ethnically motivated killings and terror plots and could spend the rest of their lives in prison if convicted. Stacey Bivens has more.
Some of the defendants said that they are guilty of some of the charges. Some of them say that they are innocent. So there's like a nitpicking of who's guilty and who's innocent. And we spoke to a defense attorney of one of those people during a break, and he really went at the prosecution saying that they had errors in the preliminary investigation and that there are errors going on right now. And that is the reason why this trial is closed. Now the defendants on this case are young guys. They're only in their 20s, but the prosecution says do not let their age fool you, that they are extremely dangerous and that they are governed by extremist ideas. Now, the 13 alleged neo-Nazis are accused of 4 main things: of murdering 27 people because of ethnic hatred, prepping to launch a terrorist attack, participating in an illegal extremist network, and inciting ethnic hatred. Now, according to the FSB, when agents went in to arrest these guys, they put on a strong defense, wounding several agents. And the agency also says that during this arrest, they found several weapons and explosives. Now, if these men are found guilty, they could face life in prison. These men were found or are accused of being guilty of having illegal ties with an extremist network. And that group is called the National Socialist Society. And the mission behind this group is to rule a socialist Russia and to uproot and essentially get rid of all immigrants. But who is really responsible? They're arresting essentially people who are foot soldiers. They're young and they don't really have the money or the power to have a network like this. So who's funding the NSS and who's organizing it? And they say until the masterminds behind this organization are brought to light and brought to justice, Russia cannot claim victory against extremists. But you have supporters of the nationalist movement saying, look, you can come at us at whatever direction you want. We're not going anywhere. We're fighting a race war and we're here to stay. And I spoke to a supporter and a wife of a person who bombed a market that when he was targeting traders from Central Asia that were in Moscow. And she said, you know what, I'm proud of my husband. He is a soldier and more Russians need to step up and be heroes. Here's more of our amazing interview.
This self-professed, deeply religious woman is full of hate. Hate for those who are different. Hate for immigrants she accuses of occupying, disrespecting, and contaminating her nation. Russians, she insists, are fighting a race war motivated by love.
Love for our homeland and our nation. Love for our God. Pure families where people don't just date and then break up, but rather they get married in church. They don't practice abortions. They don't support interethnic marriages.
Or ethnically mixed communities.
And what are your thoughts about me? I'm not Russian. I'm African American. I'm here. Are you upset that your government gave me a visa? What are your thoughts on that?
I believe everyone should live in their own homeland, where they belong.
Armed with this belief and inspired by racist bloggings, her husband, Nikolai Korolev, and 2 fellow students bombed Moscow's Tchaikovsky Market in 2006. They targeted because of the number of traders that come from Central Asia and China. The blast killed 14. Attacks against non-Slavic-looking people are often brutal, and in cases like Tchaikovsky Market, they are deadly. The deeds of angry mobs pummeling outnumbered victims are recorded by racists and then posted on nationalist websites. Activists call the situation out of control, but a local nonprofit crime watchdog group acknowledges it is slowly getting better.
They started seizing the most odious groups that had been involved in systematic violence and terrorism. During the last 2 years, the largest formations in Moscow were dispelled, and the key activists and murderers detained.
She says 19 people have been killed due to hate crimes in 2010. That's down from 50 for the same time period last year. But that math does little to satisfy migrants who feel self-reliance is better than police protection.
They won't any longer walk alone. They'll walk in crowds. People take care of their own safety. Law enforcement comes into action after a crime is committed, not before.
As for Veronica, her husband is serving a life sentence for actions neither of them regrets and for a cause they both support. Stacey Bivens, RT.